Previously on the BRIA Disc Golf Pro Series. We found ourselves at Camp Tecumseh, in the woods on a sunny day in March. Our lead card consisted of Steve Brinster throwing beautiful rock shots like this, Justin Choka showing off his backhand form, Finley Buchanan Jacobs, he was going both ways, huge putter shot on this hole, and showing off his sidearm skills with Brandon Copenhagen. As we ventured out of the woods into the open, Steve put on a show with superb drives like this on hole 8. Oh, right off the rim. But Finley and Justin, they also wanted a piece of the lead, tying with Steve multiple times throughout the round. Brandon kept things interesting at the end, carding a lot of birdies in a row and a huge putt like that, but ultimately Steve Brinster ran away with it on the back nine.
My name is Bill Ganley, owner of BRIA Disc Golf. So Thompson Park is home of the second course that we visit for the Pro Series. It's on a public property in Jamesburg, New Jersey, and it's also the first place that we ran a beats here as BRIA back in 2019. It is more of an open course. Let's say it's got trees, but it's fairly open. The course has changed a little bit as time goes on, but the challenge has still been there to shoot low and have fun.
Hello, this is the 2021 BRIA Disc Golf Open, event number 2 of the BRIA Disc Golf Series. Today we are in Jamesburg, New Jersey at Thompson Park. Thank you to our Patreon supporters for making this coverage possible. My name is AJ Risley. It is a sunny Saturday in June. And man, you are watching some final round lead card coverage. And in the lead is Reid from Coventry, Connecticut, shooting a 12 under par first round, 10-11 rated. We've also got Steve Brinster, Connor Healy, and Hank Hendry, all tied for second place at 11 under par. After the first event in the series, Steve is on top, Finley Buchanan Jacobs 1 point behind him, Brandon Copenhagen 1 point behind Finley. Let's jump right into it. Hole 1, 269 feet, pretty flat, slight bend to the right at the very end of the hole, and watch out behind the basket, it kind of drops off a little bit. Thanks to our friends over at Hyzer Media for providing the drone footage today. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Reid from Coventry, Connecticut. He's going with the sidearm here. Smooth release, soft skip. Great way to start his final round. And back on the lead card at the BRIA Disc Golf Series is Steve Brinster, legendary player out of Warwick, New York. Steve going for an AVR, a little high, catches a branch. Oh, and he loves it. He is at least, at the most, 5 feet away from the basket. And this is Connor Healy from Hewitt, New Jersey. Looks like Connor is also going to go with the putter off the tee, backhand. Follows Steve's line, but a little bit lower. That's fast. It's got to sit down. And rounding out the lead card, third player tied for second at 11 under par is Hank Hendry. Hank is also going with the backhand, and he is also from New Jersey. A little low left. He'll be just outside circle 1, putting for birdie. And like Bill said in that intro, the challenge of this course is to go low. You can see all 4 of these players shot double digits under par during the first round. This is Connor for birdie. All air, no basket. Hank for birdie, just outside circle 1, and same result. And he is still out. That means that both Harris and Steve are within 15 feet for birdie putts. Now I'm kind of curious about that little, looks like a CTP marker right next to the basket. And I think Steve is a little curious too. Harris off to a great start. Easy drop in for birdie. And yeah, here's Steve checking out that CTP flag. Looks like he's only 1 foot away from the pin. Double checking just to make sure. And it looks like Harris says that he's got it by an inch. Wow. Great shot by Steve. Great start. Birdies for Steve and Harris on hole 1. Connor and Hank take pars. Going over to hole 2. This is going to be a common trend for this course. A 500-foot par 4. Here on hole 2, the players go uphill the first couple hundred feet of the hole, and then they're going to bank to the right, and the basket's going to be out in the middle of an open field. Great throw by Harris. Gets out of the initial gap up the hill and to the right a little bit. He's got some nice, simple, clean form. Steve with the Brinster hop. Oh, sneaks it through the last 2 trees on the right side of that corner. And man, that thing had some speed, so man, it looks like Steve is way out there. Here is Connor Healy. Also with some nice smooth backhand form. Gets a little bit of turn on that drive, not quite as high as Harris or Steve. And Hank fades off left. He's going to have a much farther approach than the rest of the card. Yeah, here he is at least 300, if not 350 feet out. Oh, but he puts a great move on it. Oh, yeah. If that got a skip, he's going to have a short birdie putt. Harris Reid. Ooh, this one looks a little inside, but that disc is kind of understable in it. That's a great line. Comes up a little bit short. We'll see what he's got left for his birdie putt. And here's Connor. He's got a wide open hyzer. A little bit more than 300. That's well wide of the basket. Oh, man. And he's going to set himself up with a long birdie putt. And if you were watching the BRIA Disc Golf Championship, you heard me fawn over Steve's standstill skills. And here he goes back to the standstill shot from about 300 feet away, and that one gets away from him a little bit. Yeah, here he is about circle's edge, maybe just outside. But this is for birdie. Up and in, low left with that patented hyzer putt from Steve. That thing is not going anywhere anytime soon. Great putt for birdie from Steve. He moves to 13 under par. Here's Connor from about 28 feet away. Oh, right on line with the pole, but just off that top rim, top rails. I don't know what you would call that on the Mach 5, but for Connor it will be called a par. Hank, little left, but he's in there for birdie. He's up to 12 under par. First birdie of the second round. And this is Harris to maintain a one-stroke lead over Steve Brinster. And you're going to see this a lot today from Harris. He goes very wide with his straddle. Gets about eye level with the heart of the chains. And he's in there for birdie. 14 under par. Connor with the lone par on hole 2. On to hole 3. Another 554-foot par 4. Whoa, straight through the trees here. Off to the right a little bit, and then peekaboo, there's the basket. Somewhere about 70 feet past that little bush in the fairway. We might see some sidearms, we might see some rollers, seeing as how this hole plays straight and finishes right. And here we go with Harris leading us off, going with the big forehand. He's got to fan it off first, though. Clean release, maybe a little wide, but it misses all the trees and he gets the maximum flight out of the disc. Oh, it looks like Steve is really exaggerating that anhyzer, that roller angle. He's going to exaggerate it with the disc, and during his run-up, he'll work his body around that roller angle. And that's got a lot of cut. Kind of hard to tell. If that missed all the trees, just like Harris's shot, he'll be way up there for a short approach. Let's see what Hank's got here. Oh, a little early. Disc tries to turn over for him, but doesn't. And oh no, he's found the out of bounds road off to the left. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Connor's kind of slipping here. He needs a clean drive. And it looks like he gets just that, yes, through the last gap, out into the open. And this is Hank's third shot. The speed limit sign says 20, but he's going to want at least 50. Oh, and he gets that, but way too low. He'll be in circle 2 looking at a par putt. This is where Harris's drive landed. Basket is just past that bush. Great line by Harris. A little standstill forehand approach from Connor. Ooh, little inside, yeah, and not enough power. He's going to be well short for a birdie. And this is where Steve's roller ended up. He's going with the jump putt, something spinny and understable from about 140 feet, and he's right there for a birdie. And here we have Hank from close to 50 feet. This would be for par after going OB on his drive. Oh boy. Just a tiny bit low. That's going to be a tough bogey to take. Steve and Harris are both pretty close looking at birdies, and they're already 1 and 2 strokes respectively above Hank. And he's going to drop to 11. This is Connor for birdie. Oh, and again, great line, just a little bit high. He will remain at 11 under par. Harris getting nice and low. There's a little bit of wind, so this could be beneficial. Woo! Just up and over the rim. Turkey to start for Harris Reid, 15 under par, leading the way. Easy 10-foot putt for Steve right there. He's also got a turkey to start. 1 behind Harris Reid for the lead. Connor with the par. This is Hank for bogey. And here we go, hole 4, par 3, 276 feet. We found some woods, not quite as tight as Camp Tecumseh like we saw during the first event, but still pretty tight, and the basket is well left of the tee pad from this angle. So that means most likely we're going to see 4 backhand hyzers, and our players are going to be looking for a good amount of skip. Harris lines up a hyzer. He's going pretty wide right. Oh, and he catches a branch, some leaves. Gets a small skip, but I'll bet that he's on the deeper half of circle 2 looking for birdie. And here we go. Steve's got something kind of fast, probably pretty overstable. Sets up for extreme hyzer. Oh, he's going wide. He's going high too. And that'll help get him a little bit more bounce, and it sure does skip left for him. You can see that was very, very far left. Harris is much farther right. Hopefully Connor took notes on that drive. Hank too. Oh, but Connor follows Harris's wide right line. And we don't see much of a skip for Connor. Here goes Hank. He's already exaggerating that hyzer. Gets it high like Steve. Oh, but not as much of a bounce. Connor from about 50, maybe 55. Oh, and there it is. His first birdie of the second round. On hole 4, Connor Healy moves to 12 under par. And here is Harris. He ended up just about as far away as Connor. Again, without that skip, they found themselves outside circle 1. Harris up and just about 6 inches short. That opens the door for Steve for the first time this round. Oh, Hank from circle 1. Low right, just a bit too fast in that upswing. And this is Steve for birdie after that monster skip. Up and in. He is tied for the lead. Carding the solo birdie on hole 4. Oh, actually, no. Connor also got a birdie. Sorry about that, Connor. Anyways, over to hole 5, 285 feet, slightly downhill, little valley right at the last 80 feet or so, and a slight upslope. The hole bends to the right at the very end. Steve is going to look to a putter, it looks like. Gets a little bit of height, but that tailwind kind of pushes him down. Luckily, the flight was true, and he gets himself right around that last tree. Pin high, maybe 15 feet to the right. And again, also birdieing hole 4. Here we have Connor. Similar line to Steve. Oh, beautiful. Hits the lock on the fly and circles around to about 10 feet. He's got that for birdie. And Harris would love to put himself just as far as Steve, seeing as now he is tied for the lead and comes up a bit short left. Hank has had a Rough last couple holes, and that trend continues. Super early release, finds the first available tree on the left side, but that sets up a seemingly easy thumber approach with a nice skip and roll under the basket. Here's Harris Reid circle's edge, maybe, actually it looks like just a couple feet outside the circle. He needs this to keep pace with Steve. Oh no. If he was playing 21, he would have lost a point, but he's on hole 5 at the BRIA Disc Golf Open, and he just lost a stroke to Steve Brinster. Steve is in the lead by himself at 16 under par after 5 holes. Connor as well, great drive, easy birdie. And Hank was certainly hoping for more than just a par on that hole.
Welcome to new BRIA Disc Golf store in Wall, New Jersey, home of the largest disc inventory in the region. An ever-growing inventory of discs from all the top brands including Discraft, Innova, Dynamic Discs, MVP, Discmania, and Prodigy. As an authorized retailer for Zuka, grip equipment, and our expanding apparel selection, you'll feel good and look good for your next round. Easy access from Route 18, 195, and the Garden State Parkway. Head to our website to see our growing online inventory, store hours, and other updates. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Bill. Moving over to hole 6, 531 feet, par 4. Out the gates there and bending to the right about halfway down the hole. A couple big trees, maybe 150 feet from the basket, so once the players get to their approach shots, they're going to have to manage something through those trees, around those trees, in order to give themselves a putt for birdie. Steve Brinster, with 5 birdies in a row to start his round, 16 under par, he takes the box. And he gets the quick turn, lays down the roller. A little bit of wind.
A little gust out there, I guess.
But Steve's shot ends up right in the middle of the fairway. Here's Connor. Let's see if he can get that disc to turn over again for him. And it certainly does. Oh, it stays turned. Might be too much, like he says. We'll see. And Harris, losing 2 strokes in 2 holes, he really needs to make up for that on this one. Oof. Great looking line, catches a couple leaves. He's in the open. He's in the open, not too far. I think he'll have a Hyzer shot lined up. Let's see what Hank can do. Oh, that's a great line.
Yeah, Hank.
No leaves, no trees, no nothing. Well done by Hank. Yep, Harris has that wide right side gap. He's going with the zone. Playing a short approach into the basket, maybe 250 feet, 220, somewhere in there. Great line by Harris. He's got a birdie putt. And Connor was a little bit too far right off the tee. But it looks like he's got a manageable approach shot here. Going to a standstill from over 200 feet away with the putter. Fades out a little bit on him, but he's got a circle 1 putt for birdie as well. And it looks like Hank wants that left side gap with the Anheuser. Oh no, low release. And the wind pushes it down. We'll see if Steve can correct off of Hank's mistake there, because he's got pretty much a similar shot. Oh no, and he also throws it very, very low. Yeah, he's going to have about a 60-footer for birdie. Ooh. Well, it definitely had the height to get there, but unfortunately, well off the mark. And Steve is going to have another tester just for par. This is Hank for birdie. Oh, wow, right on the pole. Huge putt from Hank Hendry. And with Steve still looking for par, Harris has a chance to tie it back up. A little bit right, but that's in there. Birdie on hole 6. He's back. He's up to 16 under par. In a tie for the lead at the moment. Connor is testing the wind a little bit. I think he's got a headwind, maybe a headwind with a slight right to left cross. And at about 20 feet, that's kind of when that kind of wind can wreak havoc on a putt. But Connor spins it right through that wind for birdie. 3 in a row, 14 under par through hole 6. And here is Steve putting straight into the wind. This is for par to remain tied with Harris Reid. Oh no, and it sounded like someone off in the distance started talking right during his downswing. And Steve finds the rim, rolls away to about 12, and drops in for bogey. 2-stroke swing on hole 6. Harris Reid now has the outright lead. Hole 7, 535-foot par 4. Slightly uphill off the tee box. And then we're going to bend to the right, go downhill a little bit. Few big trees within circle 1 and 2. Connor Healy, after 3 birdies in 3 holes, is first on the box, 3rd place at 14 under par. Smooth. Great line by Connor. And back on top is Harris. I think he's going to try to match Connor's line. Maybe something a little bit more understable. Oh, and it sure looks like it. Wow. Way down there from Harris. He'll have a short approach for birdie. Let's see what Hank's got. Good looking line, pretty overstable disc. And it almost looks like Steve is setting up another roller. Oh yeah. Big shot by Steve, trying to give himself an eagle look. Hard to tell up and over that hill. I guess we'll find out where that ended up. Here's Hank with a downhill Hyzer approach. Well played. Gets some good ground action. He'll have a short putt for birdie. And this is Connor. Nothing in the way, really, except that big tree on the left. Oh, or on the right of the basket, excuse me. And that putter stays straight. Hits the right side of the tree. And he'll be just outside circle 1 for birdie. Oh, and here's where Harris ended up after that bomb right behind this wooden pole. He's going to have to think about this one a little bit. Oh, that Anheuser puts a little bit too much stank on it, and it slides away. Wow, this is where Steve's roller ended up. This is his putt for eagle, maybe 50 feet. To get to 17 under. Oh! And something about the wind and what his putter did just didn't quite add up right for Steve. He's a little displeased there. This is Harris. Comeback putt for birdie. Great putt. Holds on to his lead over Steve. And here is Connor for birdie. This would be for 4 birdies in a row. Well done. 15 under par for Connor Healy. And for the moment, he's tied with Steve Brinster for second place. But Steve has this putt for birdie. And you saw him test the wind again. Hopefully the test was positive. Oh no. Right off the cage. After an amazing drive, Steve takes a pedestrian par on hole 7.
I just want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Frothware. Go check out his podcast, The Weekly Pump, on anywhere you can get a podcast. Episode 2, that's my interview, so if you want to hear some stuff about disc golf, go check it out. Thanks.
Thanks, Hank. Over to hole 8, 535-foot par 4. This one's pretty straightforward. Play out into the open field, and then the hole bends to the left during the second half of the fairway. Connor with 4 birdies in a row. He's still got the box. And puts a great move on that. Looks like he'll have an open stance and an open approach to the basket. And Reid loses a couple strokes, gains a couple strokes. He's going to want to follow Connor here. Looks like he's done just that. He will also have a short approach into the green. Let's see what Hank can do. Again, a nice hyzer. Flips up a little bit and rides straight. So he gets a bit more distance than Connor and Harris. But not as much lateral motion to the left. Steve going with an extended run-up. I think he's going to really try to bite off a lot on this tee shot. And what a huge towering hyzer from Steve Brinster. Gets well past his competitors and way to the left. This is Connor's second shot here. About 250 feet. Decent approach, maybe about 20 to 25 feet for birdie for Connor. And this is Harris going back to the zone, forehand approach. And the tailwind kind of shoves him down a little bit. We'll see what he has for birdie. And here's where Hank's drive ended up. He did get a bit farther straight, and that kind of opened up that second shot for him. A little bit less than 200 feet, no problem. He's right there for birdie. And yeah, Steve pumped one way out there. He's going back to the jump, spin, throw putt with that very understable blue putter. Connor for birdie on hole 8. This would be 5 birdies in a row. Yes. Dead center. 16 under par. Harris just inside that, maybe 20 feet. For birdie as well to hold on to his lead. And, oh, right off the pole, so much force. And he will settle for par on hole 8 here. Still has a 1-stroke lead over Steve and Connor. But man, that was brutal. Hank with the lefty putt. 3 in a row. 3 birdies on hole 8. Let's walk over to hole 9. 302 feet. Par 3. The drone is going straight to the basket, but our players are going to go wide right over the road and play a big hyzer. But with these first 2 trees in the way and their subsequent branches and leaves, this is almost a blind hyzer. Those leaves really block the second half of the flight from the player, so they don't really exactly know what the disc is doing in that second half of the flight. Connor pulls his shot well right. But yeah, the players are going to have to trust that 302-foot marking on the tee sign, and they're just going to have to trust their skills. Hank going a little bit more inside on that hyzer line than Connor. But he gets the nose up a little bit with that right to left crosswind, and he's going to be well left of the basket. Let's see if Steve can make a correction or two. High hyzer, gets the nose down. And oh, skips just behind the basket. Well done by Steve Brinster. He's going to put the pressure on Harris Reid here if Harris wants to hold on to that sole possession of the lead. Harris goes high as well and inside, but just like Hank, a bit too far inside, well short of the basket. Okay, Connor's got about 60 feet for birdie. Oh no. Great line again, just a touch short. He's going to potentially lose a stroke to Steve and maybe Harris if Harris can connect from circle 2. Oh! And the same fate, just a few inches short. Harris will also settle for par. And there you can see Steve's yellow disc as Hank lines up a circle 1 putt. Ugh. Just a little low, a little right. And Steve is the last hope for birdie on the lead card here on hole 9. This birdie would move him into a tie for the lead with Harris. And he's just over the rim and in for birdie. Steve Brinster tied for the lead after 9 holes. Hank and Harris and Connor will all drop in their par putts. And there you have it after the front 9. Steve Brinster, 6 under par, moving up into a tie for the lead. Harris Reid and Connor Healy, 5 under par. Decent scores. But wow, Brandon Whitaker, from way down on the leaderboard, 8 under after 9 holes, in a tie for the lead at 17 under par. Alrighty, Thanks to our Patreon supporters so much for making these videos possible. We got a great battle going on here at Thompson Park, the BRIA Disc Golf Open, stop number 2 on the BRIA Disc Golf Series. Oh man, I'll tell you what, back 9, I'm looking forward to it. You should too. There's going to be another giveaway from BRIA Disc Golf, so make sure to head over to the back 9 videos, look for a pinned comment, and I'll see you over there. My name's AJ Risley. Adios.